So the misunderstanding I see you making when you first start to hear that I am reality, or be still and know I am God, or you have to get still, or you have to recognize that everything is you, all is one, or all is you, in these non-dual teachings, is that you still think to get something you must become one with your desires, or you must become your new identity, or that you must slip on a new identity. In other words, you might also be thinking that you have to either get, morph your thoughts into new ones, right? That was trending up for a while, affirming over your thoughts with positive thoughts, robotically affirming over them. And then you started learning or discovering that, okay, you don't have to affirm over your negative thoughts. Now you just observe them. But even observing your thoughts and simply just recognizing your thoughts as something that is being observed, right? As though you are here and your thought is here, is still a halfway step. It's not a full and complete understanding of the fact that I am is reality, or I am reality. Not me, Anila, is reality. Not you, Mary, John, Cillian Murphy is reality. It means that whatever is here, when we don't refer to our thoughts and feelings and memories, that is reality. Now, this might seem contradictory a bit, but I'm not contradicting myself or you. But even your very form, right? Whether it's the form of Anila, John, Mary, Cillian Murphy, they are also reality, but they are not solely reality. Just like that, your thoughts as well. You don't need to just observe them from a distance. That is one way of noticing them. But a true welcoming, to truly recognize that you are all reality, is to notice that your thoughts too are also reality, but they're solely by themselves are not reality. Just like a wave ultimately is also made of the ocean. It is the ocean. It can never be separated from the ocean. But a wave itself, only the wave, is not the ocean solely by itself. Meaning they're not like multiple waves is not equal to multiple oceans. In the same way, even your thoughts are made of, arising in, and known by the same awareness, the same observer, the same reality. And so they too are reality, but they're not solely, right? By themselves. They are not alone reality. So sure, it's helpful to see that you are the one observing your thoughts. But at some point, the recognition, the true embodiment, the true declaration of I am reality, or being still and know I am God, is an inclusive journey. Not even a journey, let me just rephrase it. It's an inclusive experience. It's an inclusive, nameless experience. It's not you are the observer and that is the observed. That is what our mind tells us. What happens when we relax all labels, memories, and thoughts? Then what is your experience of your thoughts, of yourself? Do you still find two things, the observer and the observed? Do you still find two experiences without referring to your thoughts, memories, and beliefs? Do you still find a lover and something that is loved if you don't refer to your thoughts, memories, or beliefs? Or is it one seamless experience, one seamless reality? If it's one seamless reality, as you can see from your direct experience, you're not just trying to believe in my words. Where is the question of your thoughts simply being observed? Where is the question of, oh, you need to move into a new identity? Where is the delineation of you and your identity? You and the multiple identities? Why do you need to slip into anything? Why do you need to exclude anything? Why do you need to deem one state, one identity as undesirable and the other identity as desirable? Can that even happen if we start noticing that without referring to your memories, thoughts, and beliefs or preconceived notions, what even is your experience of identity? Does it even exist? Do any of your thoughts in your old identity pose any threat from this point of view? From this fresh, clean slate point of view, do any of your thoughts that you once deemed as undesirable, disempowering, negative, pose any threat at all to you or your life? Or can you see them as simply waves in the same ocean, as arisings in the awareness that you are, in this nameless experience? What happens when you see them as arisings, or when you see them that they are ultimately also awareness, they're ultimately also the nameless experience, they're ultimately also God, they're ultimately also reality? What happens to your reaction to those thoughts then? They are a non-issue. They are of no threat. They have no bearing over your life. They have no hold over your life. They have no control. They have no say in what you do or don't experience. And now there is no pressure. There's not even an obligation to move into a new identity, to occupy a new identity. Because you begin to see that ultimately you are above all identities. And now you have nothing to fear anything from that seemingly old identity. It now stops being called the old identity. It stops being called, referred to, criticized as the old identity that you need to shed, move, transcend, rebirth over, and become something new, or slip or slide into a new identity. Now it just is seen as simply isness, simply God, simply reality, non-threatening, balanced, harmonious, abundant, fulfilled, whole. These are all synonyms of isness, after all. Because to be a synonym of isness or the nameless experience, they have to represent, all these words have to represent wholeness. So now notice, what happens to your desire to, only just observing your thoughts? Now there's no need to even focus all your attention on observing your thoughts. Yes, it is helpful to a certain extent. And yes, I do mention it in certain areas in certain videos, but I also mention the next step, which is to always recognize who is doing the observing, who is doing the noticing. Is there any actual delineation or divide between who is doing the observing and the observed when you do not refer to your thoughts, memories, or beliefs? Check your experience. You'll find no such delineations, no such lines or divides. And when you can see that there is no such line between the observer and the observed, the noticer, the noticed, perceiver and the perceived, experiencer and the experienced, the seer and the seen, hearer and the heard, the feeler and what is felt, the lover and what is loved, then that is when you have the true recognition of the phrase, I am reality, I am all, I am, I simply am, or I. Now do you see there's no need to avoid your thoughts, feelings, experiences in your meditation practice, or as you move about your day, or you don't even need to kind of observe them. You can allow them to be once you see them as simply an arising in awareness. The thought is arising in awareness. Even the resistance is arising in awareness. The thought is arising in God, another name for awareness. Even the resistance is arising in God. So both of them and every other event, experience, person, place, or event is equally God. So now all you have to do is just welcome them to be as they are. You'll notice that there's no effort involved in this. If it feels like effort, then we're doing the opposite of what our true nature is, what this being is, what God is, what the idea or the phrase I am reality refers to. If there's effort involved in switching your identity, choosing your desire, accepting a desire, or trying to meditate and find this stillness that is present here, while kind of putting thoughts, emotions, and feelings at a distance, right? Or even just your thoughts at a distance, that is a giveaway sign that you've not recognized the seeming separation you're trying to create. You've not realized that you truly are reality. So why do they need to be at a certain distance? Let them wash over you and go. They were not going to be staying there in the first place, just like a wave is not frozen in its place. It always recedes back into what we call or label the ocean. So just for today, if you want to play with just being, recognizing that I am all reality, then go about your day asking yourself, well, what is my experience? Not as a chore, just as out of curiosity, if you do not refer to memories, thoughts, or beliefs. What do I know of this thought now? What do I know of my old identity now? And you'll start seeing there's no threat in your life. There are no enemies. Your thoughts are not enemies. Your thoughts are not low energy. Your emotions are not low energy, low vibration, low identity, undesirable identity, disempowered identity, levels. they're not caught up in those levels. There's no separate bubble of lack there. Now they're just seen as what they always were: God, reality, isness, this nameless experience. So how can there be any issues in your life? How can there be any problems? How can there be any sense of suffering or contraction or resistance when we truly see this for ourselves? And even if you face any contraction, resistance, suffering, labeling, then that too is invited here. It's invited. Why resist it? Allow it to be here. See it as another arising, as God, as reality, as no threat, not a foreigner. It's not there. None of them are foreign invaders that you need to get rid of, that you need to push out of, that you need to be afar from. When you relax all judgments, labels, and memories, all of them are just here. Like I'm holding this llama. They're like this. They're like this. It's so, we can't even call it, sure, we can call it one maybe, but even the words are limiting. Now it's just isness. You're just being what you've always been. You start to realize that you were always this reality, this awakened self, this enlightened self. There's no other place to be, nothing to slip and slide into, no identity that you need to pick and think from or feel from or dance from. You are this nameless experience, and you are this ultimate reality. Now, not as a phrase, but it's your experience, your direct, first-hand experience. If you want to explore this more with me, email me at hello@anilareddy.com and we'll set up some one-on-one sessions. And if you also want email coaching, reach out to me to the same email. And you can also check out some of my mini experiences in the link below. Let me know your thoughts below.